Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Charlottesville. My name is Peggy Ruth, and I am serving as the celebration assistant this morning. And we're so happy to see all these beautiful faces right here in the sanctuary with us. And for everyone joining us online, either on YouTube or our website, welcome. And we'd love to have you here in the sanctuary with us on an upcoming Sunday. As is our practice, we are going to open this morning with song, and you may notice that our wise and witty senior minister, Reverend Don Lansky, is right here. But Blair Jones is not. Blair is home, self-isolating. She has COVID. So we have a little revision to our music today. We do have Blue O'Connor on the drums, and our ever stalwart men of the praise singers, John and Kevin, will open us with song.
It's good. And please sing along with us if you like.
Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. The Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. The Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. The Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. I used to think that I had to. I used to think that I should. The scripture told me that I had to be good. But now I love because I want to. I love because I am free. I'm blinded by the Spirit. The Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. 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 I don't need any prodding. I don't need any law. I want to sing with all my heart. God's my all in all. I let go of my burden. Loving God made me free. I'm blinded by the Spirit. The Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. 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 Was my duty. I thought it was my job. Somewhere I believed that loving God would be hard. But loving God is wonderful. Loving God is ecstasy. I thank God for my freedom. The Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. 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 The Spirit of God
Good. Welcome, everybody. If you come in late, Blair has COVID, and she's doing okay. She's just kind of having the flu-y kinds of colds kind of symptoms. So she'll be back next week, out of quarantine. And so we're doing the plan B and plan C fell through. So this is us today. We have our plan A team, right? And we'll just make it work. So I want to give you an update on the universe. Last week I mentioned how excited I was. I'm a genuine space nerd. You must know that. So, on Tuesday, NASA released all of these images from the James Webb Telescope. Maybe you've all seen them by now, but they finally did release them. Whoops! Oh, wait a minute. I completely forgot. Let me backtrack. Let me backtrack for a minute. Ann DeMichael is here this morning. Ann DeMichael was our intern here at Unity of Charlottesville for 7 months, and I want to show you something.
DeMichael, licensed Unity minister.
Anne Marie, in the name and through the power of the indwelling Christ, and on behalf of Unity Worldwide Ministries, I license you to Unity Ministry.
Stand up. Ann DeMichael. That's wonderful. And Deb is here too. Welcome, Deb. So now onto the universe. So these were the images that came out of the James Webb, right? Has anyone seen these? Anyone not seen these images? Okay, you've all seen them, so great. So we don't have to go much further than that. These go back billions and billions of years. Patanjali, who was considered to be the father of yoga thousands of years ago, had techniques for the saints and who practiced his techniques to see into the farthest reaches of the universe. Subjectively, and the yogis and the great saints were doing that. But this is the first time we normal humans are getting to see this far back into the galaxy, into the universe. The birth of a star, amazing. These are 5 galaxies altogether. So pretty exciting. So it's our tradition here to begin with prayer, so I invite you to just take a moment and take a deep breath. And we can breathe into the expanse, the great expanse of this vast, infinite, unbounded universe. That as far as we know stretches to infinity, and that we are just a part of this play of the creation, play of the Creator. And knowing that, we have the ability and the opportunity to just be the best that we can be. To be the best that we can be. And when we consider the vastness of the universe and look at the petty things that go on in our planet, the ways that we are harming our planet, the way that wars and power are handled, as spiritual people, we get to have the intention of wholeness, the intention of unity, the intention of peace, the intention of oneness where there is separation. And we hold that, we affirm that, and we send it forth into our universe. And so it is. Amen. I wanted also to share with you something that I just learned this morning from a text. How many of you know Ellie Apple? You know Ellie? Ellie died on Friday night. And I don't know any of the details, but I just want to take a moment and just know that we can hold Ellie in the light, that we can see Ellie moving forward on her soul's journey, surrounded and unfolded by the light and the love of God. We give thanks for her walk upon this earth. We give thanks for all of the lives that she has touched, for her beautiful spirit. And we know that she is well, that wherever God is, all is well. Amen.
And while we're in this state of peaceful consciousness, I invite you to join me in our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And now I invite you to join in on our welcoming song. You may stand if you so choose. And I'll turn it over to our music team.
I'm in the right place
at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
And now it's time for our children, our youth, if we have any here this morning, to join Reverend Mark Boston, our youth ed director, at the back of the sanctuary to go to Children's Church. The Board of Directors, as you know, meets monthly, and at our meeting last week, we discussed once again the mask policy for any activities here on our campus. And the board decided to leave masks optional. However, we wanted to boost it up a little bit and say that we strongly encourage masks. When we have someone like Blair Jones out, it makes us more aware of the importance of not only protecting ourselves, but in wearing a mask, protecting those that we're around and, family members as well. So we've ramped it up a little bit. Again, we've left the choice to you, but we do strongly encourage masks. And during the month of July, we like to bring focus to our legacy program. This is the opportunity for individuals to leave a bequeath to Unity of Charlottesville in their will. We have a legacy tree in the narthex, a beautiful tree that was designed many, many years ago, and each leaf represents an individual who has made the conscious choice to be part of that program. Last week, Reverend Don sent an email out to folks with information about it, and John Sankwich, one of our members, has graciously offered to give just a little bit about why he and Renee decided to participate in the legacy program. So, John?
Good morning. Reen and myself have been Unitics for well over 38 years. We came from another church up the road a little ways. We joined here a little better than a year or so ago. And we felt the love, we felt the energy here. We needed to help the church here with what we intend to do with our personal property, our home, and we included all that in the will so that this church can continue to grow and expand and go as they need. And hopefully, not for myself, but hopefully for the church, that upon our passing, Unity of Charlottesville will receive our home, our property, and to do with it what they need, hopefully to pay a chunk on the mortgage. So that's where we're at. We want to see this facility bloom and grow and attract more people, and this is a wonderful, wonderful place to be, and I just love being here. Thank you.
Thank you, John. That's beautiful. Really beautiful. John, beautiful. So with that, let's do our mission statement together. Together, Unity of Charlottesville empowers everyone to express their unique divinity, making a positive difference in the world.
I am thine, O Lord. I have heard your voice, and it told your love to me. But I long to rise in the arms of faith and be closer drawn to thee. Draw me nearer to the heart of love divine. Draw me nearer to your precious love sublime. Draw me nearer. Draw me nearer. Consecrate me now to your service, Lord, by the power of grace divine. Let my soul look up with a steady hope, and my will be lost in thine. Draw me nearer to the heart of love divine. Draw me nearer to the precious love sublime. Draw me nearer. Draw me nearer. There are depths of love that I cannot know till I cross the narrow sea. There are heights of joy that I may not reach till I rest in peace with thee. Draw me nearer to the heart of love divine, draw me nearer to thy precious love sublime. Draw me nearer, draw me nearer, draw me nearer.
Ken doesn't even know that he was here this morning. It'll be a surprise. Well, there was a famous runner. He was the fastest man in the world, and he loved hot dogs. So he made an announcement to all the chefs of the world that if they could bring him their best hot dog and catch up to him while he was running on his daily jog, he would give them free running lessons. So all of the chefs in the world, hundreds of them gathered around. They made their best hot dogs, and they tried to catch up with this famous runner, but he was too fast. They couldn't catch him. But there was one humble chef in New York who thought he'd give it a try. He made his best hot dog, and he ran after the fastest runner in the world, and he caught him, and the runner tasted the hot dog, and he said, "This is the best hot dog that I've ever eaten. How did you catch up to me?" And the chef said, "Well, I just mustered the energy to catch up." I know. My contract says I can have one groaner a year. All right. So there are many reasons to run. You can just ask Henry Reeves as he's watching. He's run 2 Boston marathons. During the Sydney Olympics, the Kenyan long-distance runner Kip Lagat was asked why his country produced so many fast runners, great runners. He said, "It's the road signs, beware of lions." So you might have a reason to run if you're being chased by a lion. You might also have a reason to run if you became aware that you were in a toxic relationship, for example. So Patricia and I have been binge watching PBS Masterpiece Theater. We've watched Sanditon and All Creatures Great and Small, and what's another one? Paradise. And you remember the scene in Forrest Gump where Forrest is being chased by bullies, and Jenny says, "Run, Forrest, run." Whoops, what am I doing here? I missed this. I got these reversed. Let me go back. She says, "Run, Forrest, run," right? So Patricia and I, when we find that there's a dastardly character who's deciding to do evil deeds to our main character, we yell at the TV, "Run!" And they don't seem to hear us. And they never listen. They never listen. In June 2003, Lloyd Scott set a new world record for the slowest marathon time in history. He ran the marathon in 6 days, 4 hours, 30 minutes, and 56 seconds. And he did it wearing a 130-pound diving suit. And then he ran the London Marathon. He finished that one in 5 hours. He did that one dressed in a full suit of armor, pulling a dragon. Now, he did this for charities. He did all of these stunts for charities. He raised over $6 million over a period of years for charities. You might have a reason to run if a hurricane is coming. You might have a reason to run if a volcano has erupted. You might have a reason to run if a bull is chasing you. But the question I have for you today is, why do we run from our relationship with God? Why do we run from our relationship with God? Emily Cady wrote a foundational unity text called Lessons in Truth. And in that, she said at the very heart of humanity, there is a deep and awful homesickness that has never been and never can be satisfied with anything less than a clear, vivid consciousness of the indwelling presence of God. Does that ring true for anybody? It does for me. It feels like it's why we're here on this earth, on this planet, to make that connection to the indwelling presence. It's why a lot of us are attracted to spiritual community. Because in our heart of hearts, we yearn for that oneness. We yearn for that wholeness with the God of our being. But I wonder if there's also a tendency to want to pull back when we feel that we're getting too close to God. I thought a lot about this. In religious speak, I call it, let me see if I can do this. Oh God, why don't you love me? Oh God, you do. Oh God, I got the see you later blues. I'm hoping maybe when Blair gets better, she'll write a song about this, right? We get so close, we want to run. Patricia and I have noticed that in our years of ministry that some people leave our church for a while, and then they come back, and they wonder why they ever left in the first place. And I've wondered why they do this as well. Is it because they got too close to something? Is it because they saw something that was so beautiful in themselves, and they got scared and wanted to run away? Or maybe it was the opposite. And some of us do relationships this way as well, don't we? We want to be in relationship, we want to be connected, we want to feel close, we want to be intimate. But when we get too close or too vulnerable or our hearts are too wide open, we get afraid and we run away. And maybe we do this kind of dance around God, too. I want to experience oneness with God, but I'm afraid to get too close. And in the New Testament, there's an expert on running away from God. His name is Paul. Sometimes he ran to God, but sometimes he ran away as well. And listen to what Paul says in Romans chapter 7.
Amen.
Oh, I got my slides all messed up. I'm sorry, folks. He says, I can anticipate the response that is coming. I know that all God's commands are spiritual, and I'm not. I do not understand my own actions, for I do not do what I want, but I do the very thing I hate. Paul was having a moment, right? I decide one way and then I do something else. I want to do this, but then I do that. I want to do something that's really good for myself, taking care of myself, but then I don't, right? On my mom's 80th birthday, we gathered all of her friends who'd been so close to her over the years up in Maine, and we had our family there as well. And there was a time when all of the adults were very busy. They were all active, talking to one another, being with one another, and there was this little 4-year-old boy that was there, and he yelled at the top of his lungs, "What about me?" It was perfect. And I think that's what Paul was having here. I think he was having a "what about me" moment, you know? Is anybody out there? How can I get in alignment with my spiritual goals, with my spiritual ideas? Can anyone help me? How do I do that? Why do I feel so distant? And so like Paul, I think many of us are yearning to experience that deeper connection with the divine, however we conceptualize that for ourselves. We yearn to end that awful homesickness that Emily Cady talked about. And so why do we run away from being in relationship with God? I want to suggest that there are 3 reasons. There are probably more, but these are kind of the biggies that I thought about. And the first reason that we tend to run away from God is because we're afraid of getting too close. And this was certainly a message that was prevalent in the Hebrew Bible and that many of us grew up with, that if you see the face of God, you will burn up, you'll perish. No human being is worthy enough to see the face of God, right? That's were messages that we got. But why would we be afraid of getting what our hearts deepest yearning is. Why would we be afraid of closeness with a connection? Why are we afraid? And so here's my theory, for what it's worth. My theory is that we cannot enter into that holy place in consciousness where the connection with God is without being changed. Right? We can't enter the holy place in consciousness where the connection with God is without being changed. Now, we may say that we want to be changed, but underneath, many of us are afraid of change. We fear change. We might even have the thought that if I could just keep things from changing, I would finally be at peace. And that is a huge, enormous, and tragic deception. Because the essence of life is change, right? The whole point of our encounter with God is to change and be changed. But if I change, how do I know who I am? How will I recognize myself? If I merge with the essence of God, what will happen to my individuality? What will happen to myself, my sense of self? And if I change, what will happen to my relationships? And what will happen to my career and my life? Everything that I know will become unfamiliar. So Patricia and I were watching The Chosen the other night. The Chosen is a TV series, a dramatic TV series on Amazon. It's about the life of Jesus, and it's told very brilliantly, very creatively, and with a lot of poetic license. And we were watching a scene with Nicodemus. Nicodemus, is, you might remember, is the Jewish leader of the Sanhedrin, and he meets with Jesus in the dark of night. And this actually happens in the gospel account. Jesus meets with Nicodemus, and in that account in the gospel, he is telling Nicodemus about how to be born in spirit. And he's also speaking about that very well-known passage, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. That's in that little interchange with Nicodemus. But in The Chosen, Jesus and Nicodemus are having this very loving, very personal conversation. And Jesus asks Nicodemus to follow him. And so I want to show you what that is like.
When I met Lilith, Mary, that day, I told my wife and my students she was beyond human aid. Only God could have healed her. And then I saw her healed. And here you are. The healer. My whole life I have wondered if I would see this day.
Follow me, and you'll see more.
Follow you?
Join me and my students. In 2 days' time, we leave Capernaum. Come see the kingdom I am bringing into this world.
But I can't.
You have a position in the Sanhedrin. You have family. You are getting advanced in years. I understand. But the invitation is still open.
The invitation to what exactly? To lead a nomadic life, to give up who I am?
It's true. There is a lot you would give up. But what you would gain is far greater and more lasting.
Is this another one of your born-again mysteries?
Maybe. I know mysteries aren't easy for a scholar. Think about it. Take your time. On the morning of the 5th day, we leave, and we'll meet by the well in the southern quarter at dawn.
Is the kingdom of God really coming?
What does your heart tell you?
My heart is swollen with fear and wonder. You can tell me nothing except that I am standing on holy ground. Holy Reuben.
I do hope you come with us, Nicodemus. You don't have to do that. What are you doing?
Kiss the Son, lest he be angry and you perish in the way.
Blessed are all who take refuge in him.
Can you really feel Nicodemus's dilemma? He believes that he has just met the Messiah that's prophesied in this long and ancient and sacred tradition of prophets written about in the Torah. And a part of him desperately wants to go with Jesus. But he's at the pinnacle of his profession. He has a family. He has riches and status and respect. He's a prominent leader in the Sanhedrin. He has devotion to his particular way of teaching about God and teaching about Torah. And so he's terribly conflicted. Does he follow his spiritual calling, which is a direct request from Jesus to follow him, or does he stay with the known and with the familiar? So in this next clip, Jesus is about to leave town, and this is the last chance for Nicodemus to meet up with him. Have the stage lights.
Should be everyone. Everyone's here?
Yes, this is all of us.
Is there anyone else? Look at this. What is that?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Gold.
A friend of mine left that for us.
It's enough for 2 weeks of food and lodging.
You came so close.
What do you mean?
We need to go for it to make it to a camp in Tiberias by nightfall.
Simon is correct. Let's go.
You're gonna wear that? On a trip.
These are my clothes. Should I have others?
So Jesus, with great pathos, sadness, you came so close. It's a heartbreaking scene. Am I the only one? I find that to be just a heartbreaking scene, you know. But we can understand Nicodemus. We can sympathize with him and with the choice that he makes. And I very personally related to this scene, I have to tell you, from my own experience, that there was a time in my life when I chose to give up teaching transcendental meditation, which I had done for many years, because I just couldn't make a living at it. I couldn't support my family. And there were many times over those years when Maharishi called his teachers to go on special projects in India or Nepal or the Philippines or Thailand or different places all around the world. And I chose to turn down those opportunities because of my career, because of my family obligations. And it was always a painful choice for me. I felt just like Nicodemus, I have to tell you. So later on in the gospel account, Nicodemus defends Jesus in the Sanhedrin. And then after Jesus' crucifixion, he's one of the guys that goes over to the tomb where Jesus is buried to anoint him. So he remains a supporter and a sympathizer and a friend of Jesus in the end in the gospel account. So if I had to summarize this so far, what I would say is that coming into contact with the divine means coming into an awareness that is going to change us. That is an absolute promise. If you come in contact with the divine, it will change you. In the book of Romans, Paul writes these famous words, and you know the passage, do not be conformed to this world, but be renewed but be transformed by the renewing of your minds. Right? But listen to this translation. This is from the Message Bible. This is in contemporary English. So here's what I want you to do, God helping you. Take your everyday ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for God. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out. You'll be changed from the inside out. How great is that? So the fear of change can only be overcome when we learn to trust and know that the Creator's desire for us is the highest and best good for us as well. For our highest and best good. That any change that is being brought to us by God, by the universe, by whatever you want to call it, only makes us the best people that in our hearts we yearn to be. And so if we find ourselves faced with the fear of change, we could affirm something. We could affirm, I welcome the changes in my life and I see them as opportunities to realize my oneness with God. Will you try this with me as an affirmation? Just repeat after me. I welcome the changes in my life, and I see them as opportunities to realize my oneness with God. Yeah, things seem to be changing for you this week all around you, and your plans aren't unfolding the way that you hoped that they were meant to be for you. Try the affirmation, not just as empty words, but really being anchored and feeling about it, right? I welcome the changes in my life, and I see them as opportunities to realize my oneness with God. And what might happen if we really got into this affirmation, if we really believed it? Might bring you to a place of understanding that things are in divine order, all things in divine order. Might bring you to a place of acceptance and awareness that the loving compassion is your only responsibility, that when you be love, you are in oneness with God. When you be love. I welcome the changes in my life and I see them as opportunities to realize my oneness with God. So, number 2, the second big reason that we run away from God, I think, in my theory, is fear of losing that relationship. Fear of losing it. First, we're afraid to get too close to God. Then we're afraid that if we're close, we'll lose it. Have you ever had a seminar? How many people have ever had a seminar high? Do you know what that is? A seminar high is where you go to a seminar or workshop and you're pumped. It's a life-altering, life-changing experience, pivotal experience in your life. And then you go home and you can feel it slipping away, and you try to hold on to it. You try to hold on to that feeling, but you can't hold on to it, right? You can't hold on to it. You lose it. The remarkable unitive experience that I described in my book, Peeling an Artichoke, happened over 50 years ago. Over 50 years ago. And I've had glimpses of it since then in my meditations, but never anything like that first experience that happened 50 years ago. And that one experience over 50 years ago has been enough inspiration and motivation for a lifetime of learning, for a lifetime of wanting to be on the spiritual path. It can never be lost. It can never be taken away. So sometimes things are going really well for us, and then there's an economic downturn, or we may get a diagnosis for ourselves or someone we love or a beloved pet about a serious illness. What happened? Where is God now? Why has God abandoned me? Why has God deserted me? Maybe we feel that God has betrayed us even, right? So here's an affirmation for that God is my source and the kingdom of heaven is within me now. God is my source and the kingdom of heaven is within me now. Will you say this after me? God is my source. That was really weak, guys. Okay, God is my source. And the kingdom of heaven is within me now. Right? Jesus said that when you seek first the kingdom, all things are added. There's nothing that can be taken away from you because God is the source of all things. Right? We say this every week. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. So when you're in a place of loss or despair, God is my source, and the kingdom of heaven is within me now. God is my source, not my paycheck, not my relationship, not my career, not my job, not my country. God is my source. And when you know that God is your source, there's no fear, there's no betrayal, and there's no loss. So the third reason that we run away from God, I think, is that maybe we think we don't deserve God's love. Right? We don't think that we're worthy enough to be in a close, direct, personal relationship with the God of our understanding. And so here's a newsflash. That's wrong. It's wrong. We deserve God's love. We all deserve God's love. We all deserve God's abundance. We all deserve all good things. We all deserve to be in that direct relationship because we are the creative expressions of the Creator. So there's absolutely nothing that we can do that would make God love us more, and nothing that we could do that could make God love us less. Because God is love. God is the unbounded, infinite, eternal, unconditional love, right? You saw the images from James Webb. The universe stretches on and on and on. We get a glimpse of that with these telescopes, a glimpse of the magnitude, the infinity of the universe. How big must the Creator be? How big must our God be, right? So someone once said, don't tell your God how big your problems are. Tell your problems how big your God is, right? And so if you're in that category, feeling that you don't deserve it or you're not worthy, how much longer do you want to be carrying that if you are? And why not just let it go? Let it go. So the affirmation here, I am deeply loved by a compassionate universe. I am deeply loved by a compassionate universe. Can you say that after me? I am deeply loved by a compassionate universe. That's the truth, guys. Yeah. You're deeply loved by a compassionate universe. So let's prepare for meditation. Blair is going to sing us a song from her bilocation experience. And so let's just settle in for prayer.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever been, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, get ready, my soul. Get ready, get ready, my soul.
So if your eyes aren't closed, I invite you to close your eyes and just continue to relax, settle into this time of meditation. And I invite you to affirm in your heart that you are love and that you are loved. I welcome the changes in my life and see them as opportunities to realize my oneness with God. God is my source, and the kingdom of heaven is within me now. I am deeply loved by a compassionate universe. And let's just take this in for a few moments into silence. These are the words of Jesus translated from the Aramaic language that he spoke. O thou from whom the breath of life comes, who fills all realms of sound, light, and vibration, may your light be experienced in my utmost holiest. Your heavenly domain approaches. Let your will come true in the universe, all that vibrates, just as on earth it is material and dense. Give us wisdom for our daily bread, our daily need. Detach the fetters of faults that bind us, like we let go to the guilt of others. Let us not be lost in superficial things, but let us be freed from that what keeps us from our true purpose. From you comes the all-working will, the lively strength to act. The song that beautifies all and renews itself from age to age, sealed in trust, faith, and truth. Amen. Let's take a few minutes now to just gently open our eyes when it feels comfortable to do that.
Don, thank you. What an inspiring message. And how fortunate are we to have this beautiful campus, Unity of Charlottesville, where we can grow our understanding of who we are as spiritual beings. So grateful. Well, it's the time in our service for us to give back our tithes, our offerings, and while you're getting organized for that, I'd first like to ask, is there anyone here for the first time? I know we have one person. Welcome. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here this morning. And if there's anyone joining us on the internet for the first time, welcome. We hope you found something today that sparked some interest, and please join us here at Unity of Charlottesville. And there are many ways to give. For those that are here in the sanctuary today, the butterfly net will be coming around, so you can give your gifts in person. You can give online. Unity of Charlottesville, you can use your phone in church. It is so easy to text to give. You just follow the prompts, this number, plug in Unity of Charlottesville as the place that you want to give, and boom, it's done quickly and easily.
Actually, you don't even need to do that. You just dial the number and you just say give $10, and you're just sent to a link. You press the link and it's done. Very, very easy.
So let's bless our offerings together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Please sing along with us if you like. The words are on the screen. Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing John, Kevin, and Blue. Thank you. And that's Sue Riley, who doesn't know she's here either, but she will. So we have some opportunities for transformation. Jing, you want to come up and... no? Okay, so we've had a change of schedule for Jing's Kundalini yoga class. It was supposed to have been yesterday, but yesterday, did it happen? Didn't happen yesterday? The naturalization? It was. So yesterday, Jing was naturalized as an American citizen. So congratulations. And so Jing's yoga class will be today, downstairs in the terrace level at 12:15. And she'll see you down there. Okay. Also, I want to mention to you that the Board of Trustees has granted me a sabbatical, badly needed sabbatical. So I'll be away for the next several weeks. And I've got some wonderful Unity ministers lined up. For the next 2 weeks, Reverend Marge Brown will be here. She's a very experienced, wonderful Unity minister. She's been here before. And then on August 7th, our very own Reverend Ann DeMichael will be here speaking. And then on August 14th, Reverend Richard Bunch, who has been on the Board of Trustees for Unity Worldwide Headquarters and Unity Worldwide Ministries and the Eastern Region of Unity Churches, so he'll be here on August 14th. And Blair should be back next week. We wish her well and see her getting recovery and healing really quickly. So.
And we have a midweek healing service on Wednesday, 6:30 to 7. There's a powerful group of people that have been meeting together on Zoom for quite a while. And we receive prayer requests, we pray over those requests, and we have had wonderful, wonderful healings as a result of that. So join us on Zoom for the midweek healing service. And we want to bring your attention to Ginger Collier's ongoing book study group. The next class will be on Zoom.
August 13th. And Sacred Service, always lots of opportunities. If you have a question about Sacred Service or would like to serve in some area of the church, please call Christine, our office manager. And she's here from Monday through Thursday from 10 to 4:30. And pastoral care while I'm away, we do have ministers on call. We have our healing helpers, Kevin and the healing helpers, and we have Buddy Leffers and Peggy as our prayer partners. So if you have any pastoral needs while you're away, please don't hesitate to call our church office.
And hospitality is offered for fellowship on Sundays where we have someone willing to serve and help with that. The next opportunity will be August 6th. And if it's something you truly enjoy, it's not difficult to do. We have a seamless coffee process. So see Christine in the office or Reverend Don and volunteer to become involved in that. It's a great way to meet members. And Reverend Mark, would you like to come up and lead us in the children's blessing?
Here's a youth ed director without youth. Now, I ask you, is there anything that we can do about this? Do you know people who have families, who have kids, who would love to hear that they're worthy and deserving of God's love and that they could do anything and be anything? Because if you do, let this guy know. He's lonely.
I am walking as the light of God. I guess I'll sing my own theme song today. But yes, I am Mark Boston, your youth director here, and it's so good to see all of you today. We don't have any young people here with us, but we want to bless them wherever they happen to be today. Together, please.
Children,
Uniteens, YOUers,
teachers, and parents. You are loved, special, and important. That is the truth. Thank
you.
So thanks everybody who helped out this morning. Kathleen and Buddy were here as our blessing team, and Maggie and Greg up in the sound booth, and our fabulous, how about our boys and girls here? How wonderful for the sound. Thank you so much, Blue, Kevin, John, thank you so much, and Peggy, thank you so much for being our host here this morning. And Blair, wherever you are, feel better. We'll see you next week. So, right. So let's stand.
Before we do the prayer for protection, I don't think we want to let this man go on sabbatical without giving him our blessing. So as we stand to do the prayer for protection, join me as we bless Reverend Don for his trip away. We see you resting, recuperating all of the wonderful R&R time that you greatly deserve. And we see you returning to us energized and enthusiastic and ready to continue leading us as the wonderful senior minister that you are. So let's use the YOU blessing up. I love you, I love you. Don, we love you, we love you, we really, really love you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Looking forward to it. So the healing helpers are over here, and Buddy and Peggy are here if you'd like personal prayers today. And please stand and let's do our prayer for protection. So together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and wherever God is, all is well. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Have a great week. You guys are so loved. Love you guys. Bye-bye.